Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Eden, and today I have a big book haul. It's summer, so it's a big summer book haul. Yoo-hoo! Big summer book haul. I have a lot of books to unbox today on haul. I got some from Book Outlet and Barnes & Noble, so let's jump right into it. First things first, gotta grab my scissors. Yes, I still use a safety scissors. All right, this is from Barnes & Noble. You'd think I'd be better at this. No. Here we go. They kept the books very safe with this. What happened to like old bubble wrap? This bubble wrap you can't even pop. Yeah. Okay, well maybe I'll package something with that later. Okay, so I had a gift card and I'm like, what better to buy with this gift card than some Brandon Sanderson books, because as you know, he's like my favorite and I don't own all of his books. And so I have The Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self, which are a continuation or like stage 2 of his Mistborn novels, which are so good. If you haven't read Brandon Sanderson yet, I recommend picking up the Mistborn trilogy. And then these are the Wax and Wayne. They're different characters, but still in the same universe. So I'm excited to read these. I haven't bought the third one yet because I like all my books to match, and I do have the mass market paperback copies, and that's just how it rolls. This world, if you ingest metals, you can have different like abilities. Sanderson is just a genius at developing worlds and magic systems and captivating characters. So, highly recommend picking up some of his books. Another Brandon Sanderson book, the final book in Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. I've been having so much fun reading these books. They are a middle grade series. Anyone can enjoy them because reading them, you can put yourself in the mind of a middle grader and just really appreciate how it's written for them, and the different fantastical elements are introduced, and it can create lifelong readers through these books. In this series, sand has magical elements to it, and the librarians are trying to take over the world. It's really great to promote imagination. The metaphors in these books teach such great lessons about what fame looks like, what being a good friend is, having a relationship with family. So I strongly recommend Brandon Sanderson, and it's for all ages. There's great humor to them, but also a very deep world that you can explore. All right, what else is in the box? I have Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. So Nevernight is about a girl who joins a school of assassins after her family has been killed, I want to say. Sounds like it. She's on the run, people are after her, but then she's gonna fight back to get revenge. That's, I think, the theme of this book. I've heard good things. It's all about hearing the good things, because I used to have such trouble finding good books, but when you trust the people to recommend you some, then it's smooth sailing. And last but not least, from Barnes & Noble, I have Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. I've enjoyed Truth Witch and Wind Witch. This is the third book. I also have Sight Witch, which is like a prequel novella. I look forward to picking up this book. I feel like I have not been doing a very good job about explaining these books, but this is the third one, so I don't want to give anything away, but it's a fun read. The stakes are high. Then I got a lot of books from Book Outlet. If you do the loyalty quiz for Book Outlet, you get 5 points a month, and every 100 points you get a $5 coupon. So I finally got a coupon, and then I ended up buying a lot of books. Not for $5, more than that. However, I'm excited. Okay, this is a full box. Speaking of Jay Kristoff, I have Obsidio, which is the third book in the Illuminae files. I've only read Illuminae. I got Gemina for Christmas, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to read Gemina, I want to be able to jump right into this book. And here it is. Are there prettier books than these? I mean, they're so unique. Like, look at this. That's just, oh. And it's written all in like surveillance footage, emails, different modes of communication. Like there's just like these notes and like all these papers. So It looks like it's all photocopied. It's definitely a unique read. This is the third book. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but it takes place in space, and in the first book, the opening scene, the planet blows up. They're trying to flee to another planet, but they're being chased and they're running out of supplies and they have injured people and things go down. And so it's a big space race in a way. And so this is a continuation of that. Again, it's the third book. I haven't even read the second. But if you're looking for something a little different, you like space, then pick up this book. It's a cool thing. I've also heard the audiobooks are very neat for these. I'm not a big audiobook person, but if you are, check it out. Checking off series left and right is the goal. Then I have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I've only read one book of hers, which was Daughter of Smoke and Bone. It was a very interesting book. Like, I hadn't really read anything like that. She did some unique things with the world building, and there's a lot of unanswered questions, and the main character, Laszlo Strange, is trying to answer them. That's all I can really pick up from this, besides that there's this lost city Weep that he's trying to learn more about. Next in the box, I have God's Grave by J. Kristoff. This is the sequel to Nevernight. So after I finish Nevernight, I can pick this book up right away. You see, if you have the sequels, then you're a better reader, because then you're not like, oh, what do I read next? You have the book, you can read it, you can make your way through your TBR, and that is the goal. Making the way through the TBR. Buying all these sequels, that's my plan. Legion by Brandon Sanderson. Stephen can learn any skill or art, so if they're like, hey, speak Spanish, he can learn it in a couple hours and be great at it. However, there is a cost for this skill. It's that he has to be able to house all this information, so he creates these hallucinations to like hold information, almost like multiple personalities, I think. And so it's getting a little crowded in his head. I think he's looking for answers on who he is. Then he gets hired by someone to recover this camera or something, so he goes on a quest. And I bet this quest is epic because it's by Brandon Sanderson, and that's really all I need to know because I love him. Have you understood that yet? Do you know that I love Brandon Sanderson? But it is a goldmine to read all of Brandon Sanderson's books, and that's why we're here. Next up, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Maybe you've kind of noticed that I have like all fantasy books, so I try to balance the scale a little bit. It is a contemporary, I think a little bit of a romance. I've heard Christina Lauren is some people's favorite author, and so I thought I'd pick up one of her books and see what I think. And it is summer, and sometimes summer is like, I just want something lighthearted and fun, not all stabby, killy, war. I don't know. Next up I have A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I have been meaning to read this book for a long time now. It's just a short little one. A Court of Thorns and Roses is a little bit of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Of course, then there's fairies, and not the kind you're thinking, but like fae. Next. Okay, these next two books are because I loved Scythe by Neil Shusterman and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. Highly recommend those books. Those are my favorite reads of 2018. And so here I have two more Neil Shusterman books. This is The Schwa Was Here, and I think it's for younger readers. See what Neil Shusterman has to say. It was like $2, and I'm like, yeah, why not? It's a short read. Sometimes you need just a little short read. I think it's about one boy who turns invisible to his friends and the effects of that. I could be way off though. Then I have Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman. I don't know anything about it. It does have a National Book Award, so it must be good. It's a pretty blue cover, just got some squiggles, like that's nice. It says, my feet are on safe, solid ground, but that's just an illusion. Dun dun dun. And last but not least, I have Eliza and Her Monsters. I have already read this book, absolutely loved it. I read it during Booktubeathon 2017, and it is so good. I borrowed it from a friend, and so I wanted to own it because it is one that I gave 5 stars. It's about this girl who's an author and illustrator of this webcomic that is super popular, and she remains anonymous. No one at her school knows it's her, just her family. And she has all these online friends. And then she meets a guy at her school who's a big fan of her work, but obviously doesn't know it's her. And so she kind of is talking about social anxiety and different things like that, but having this talent and the online community. And it's just a pure story that I enjoyed so much. I was very emotional while reading this book. Also, it's kind of fun because it has little pictures of her web series in it. So it's a quick read. And that is all I have to haul today. I believe it was a total of 14 books, so my shelves, I'm going to have to make some space. Let's see if I can pick them all up. A Court of Frost and Starlight, Blood Witch, Eliza and Her Monsters, Strange the Dreamer, Obsidio, oh, it's already getting very heavy. These are all the hardbacks. Alcatraz and the Evil Librarians, The Dark Talent, Legion by Brandon Sanderson. Readers are strong because of this, like carrying these books around, carrying these boxes around. We get muscle. Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman. Nevernight by J. Kristoff. Aha! God's Grave by J. Kristoff. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. The Schwa Was Here by Neil Shusterman. And, last but not least, The Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. These are all the books that I now possess. Woo! That's a lot. Oh boy. Woohoo, woohoo. Let me know if you've read some of these books in the comments below. Do you have a favorite author that you will buy their book right away if they have it? Are you a fan of Brandon Sanderson? Is this 20 questions? Perhaps it is. I hope that you're having a lovely summer, that your TBRs are growing and dwindling. I'm getting ready to move to my own apartment building, and I'm trying to figure out what my bookshelves are going to look like. If you want to know my thoughts about these books after I read them, I recommend you follow me on Goodreads. It's just Eden Garman. I'll put it in the description below, and we can be friends. Thank you for watching. Until next time. It fills the gap between the end of A Court of... oh boy. A Court of Mist and... no. What is it? A Court of what? A Court of Wings and Ruin